Today's reading is Lamia, an entry from the Monster Encyclopedia book series. Monsters that have the upper half of a beautiful human woman and the lower half of a long snake. Lamias may live in villages where their own kind gather or slip into human villages, but basically most of them act independently. They are highly intelligent with a snake-like cunning and persistence, and it is said that they always obtain whatever human man they have their eyes set on. They lurk in shadows, concealing their serpentine lower half, while showing off their beautiful upper half to lure men that happen to be passing by. This is when they use their sweet voice laden with a powerful charm magic against a man. A Lamia's sultry, bewitching voice will spellbind a man in a tight hold, like a snake coiling around its prey, refusing to release him, and the man will be lured towards the Lamia, staggering. After a man has approached in this manner, they swiftly coil their long lower body around him, binding his and robbing his body of freedom, only to then have sex with him. Even in the middle of sex, they continue to whisper of love in the man's ears. With pleasure and ecstasy, their charming voice grows even more lustrous, and it will continuously reverberate inside the man's head. While being continuously charmed during sex, a man will come to enjoy even the sensation of the serpentine lower half coiled around his entire body, and not just the soft skin of the woman intimately pressed against his, and the feel of her lower body where they are joined together. He will start to feel that the Lamia, including her serpentine lower half, is even more charming and lovely. Eventually, even a man's heart will be seized by her, and he'll end up surrendering himself to the constriction and the pleasure he receives. Men who strike their fancy are kidnapped and taken away to Lamia villages, and will end up as their husbands. These tenacious girls are extremely stubborn about expressing love to their husband, and they will coil their lower body around his, refusing to let go. When it comes to sex, they always spend a long time at it while entangled with their husband. They relentlessly shower their husband with love and affection, and they are also deeply jealous in equal proportions. If their husband cheats on them, they'll squeeze tightly around his entire body, and he'll end up being thoroughly ravished and milked. They molt at regular intervals and will shed and discard the skin of their lower half just like a snake. Immediately after molting, their lower half becomes extremely sensitive, and they enter a state in which their entire serpentine lower half is like an erogenous zone. Even the slightest touch from their husband will result in pleasure coursing throughout their body, resulting in a state of powerful arousal. Due to the potency of this pleasure they can experience by coiling their serpentine body around their husband directly after molting, they coil around their husband's body and rub against him even more persistently than usual, pursuing coitus in a aroused state.